Available in all areas. Use the fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Ken Wyman. College football Saturdays are already packed with reasons to get excited. And this season, FanDuel's giving you even more. Make this your most rewarding college football season ever with FanDuel. From the first kickoff of the day to the final whistle at night, there are more ways to get in on every matchup. Back your favorite team, build a same-game parlay, bet team props, or make your picks on the biggest games of the weekend. And along the way, keep an eye on the FanDuel app for even more ways to get rewarded throughout the season. Because when every Saturday brings another slate of games, FanDuel gives you more ways to make every week count. So get ready for big games, bigger Saturdays, and your most rewarding season ever only on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of 105.7 The Fan. 21 plus and present in Maryland. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Minimum $5 wager required for 5 consecutive days. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bet reset tokens. Refund from token issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $200 per day. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Support, assist, care. Own your next move by training at Lincoln Tech's Columbia campus. Gain hands-on skills using industry-standard equipment and prepare for a career as a medical assistant. Benefit from Lincoln's employer connections that can help open doors to new opportunities. Don't just imagine a better future, start building it. Enroll now for fall classes. Visit lincolntech.edu today to schedule a campus tour. That's lincolntech.edu. lincolntech.edu.
Tim Barbalas, Ken Wyman, and Femi Ayanbadejo. 3 deep on 105.7 The Fan.
Yeah, precautionary. Game state, get him off his feet. Obviously, he was dealing with the calf, so there's no point to push him there. And then we had the guys to go mix and match with Sammy going to first and getting RB behind the plate.
I assume it's the same calf that was bothering him in Tampa Bay a couple of weeks ago, same type.
I didn't say anything was wrong with him. Just said took him off his feet because of the Tampa.
Gotcha. So nothing's about it.
Please don't put words in my mouth. Thank you.
So that was weird because he literally just said he had the calf issue in Tampa.
He did.
And then Andy Koska covers the O's for the Banner, asks him for the calf, and he says, well, I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. So there's levels to this. Number one, Andy Koska covers the O's for the Baltimore Banner and joins us frequently. It's tweeted during the game, and I saw this happen in real time. Rob was doing the game for Masson. They come back from a break and said Pete Alonso was over with a trainer, was having his calf checked. Long said Alonso asked to come out, so not too much getting off of his feet. That's Rob Long saying that. So you have that, and then this weird exchange after the game, which then disappeared from the internet. Which that was something. Yeah, which was funny. But I guess, and this should have been a night of celebration, and I side-eyed this when it happened in real time. It was just weird. But it sort of goes to a bigger question, which is how would you grade Craig Albernet's first year as skipper?
Well, first the comments, because I stayed up and watched O's Extra with Rob just to see Albie and just to make sure Pete was okay, because that was a huge cloud over this game. Pete Alonso had 4 hits, like he was on cycle watch.
Yeah.
Pete Alonso, guys, since the trade deadline, and remember that first game, he had the walk-off interview with Masson, we're still going for it, it's all of us here, like it's going to be a hell of a ride. Pete Alonso is hitting .416 and has an OPS of over 1,200 in 20 games since the trade deadline. So I was concerned about Pete. And I'm watching that, and I see him get snippy with Andy, and I was like, that was weird. That was really odd. And taking a step back and looking at Albie's rookie season as a whole, I think Albie gets a lot of flack. I like Albie. Is he perfect? No. I do wonder how much control he has over things.
Sure,
in terms
especially
of
pregame.
Yeah, in terms of the lineup, in terms of even in-game management. But I think I like Albie. The guys play hard for Albie. They seem to really like Albie. That being said, Femi, you were filling in for Ken during the Samuel Basayo debacle, and that was really weird. There's been some weird moments in the media, and look, not everyone's comfortable with the media. I remember Tony Mansolino when oh my gosh, when he was talking to the media, when he took over as interim guy, that was something, and then he settled in. I wonder how much of that is what's been going on with Albie, whether he just doesn't like these press conference settings and says the wrong thing. But as a whole, I'm not down on Albie.
Yeah. I would say it's, if I'm giving an overall, like, arcing kind of macro grade, it's been mixed, I would say, because they've underperformed a little bit, and all of that's not under his control, and we don't know how much control he has, right? I look at the way that he handled yesterday as kind of like one of those situations when you have a 2-year-old, if they fall, and if you just go, hey, you're good, they'll just smile and get up and keep it moving. Like with the Andy thing, he could have just smiled and kept it moving. And the fact that he did that, it actually shined a brighter light. Like he turned something that a little kid, if you act, oh my God, what's going on, and you overdo it, you know what I mean? They start crying.
Yeah.
So I kind of, you kind of see that what I'm doing.
Brought more attention to it.
Exactly, brought more attention
It's
to
like
it.
the Coldplay couple. If they just would have played it off when they got on that street, nobody would have seen it. But they perfect analogy.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes,
So
you like that?
He doesn't have kids. My analogy wasn't good, bro. Stop.
I have to.
I like the Coldplay.
I speak bone.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm still learning. I'm sorry. That's it.
Yeah.
So I think he's learning. I think he's going to get better. Observing as an athlete, he seems like a really good guy. Like he really does to me, and that's my personal feeling about him. But you look at the Basayo incident. He brought attention to that he didn't need to bring attention to. He almost used the court of public opinion or the public podium to critique a young player, which I don't think is a smart thing to do, but he'll learn from that. I didn't have a problem with this, but he was at the Ravens practice during the trade deadline, which gave people the sense that he was disengaged or didn't have a say or didn't care. I don't think that's the case, but that's just another thing that people...
It's bad optics.
I agree with you. The slow moving on Gunner and moving him back in the lineup.
Yeah.
Like, that's another thing.
But again, I just wonder how much of that is Albie, how much of that is front office.
But,
But
but this is what I always say, because we're fans or we're experts in the media, we only can use the data that we have. It just doesn't look good. Whether we don't care what the reason is, we just see the outcome and the result. He should have moved Gunner back in the lineup earlier. I like Gunner hitting fifth. I think it gives a little bit more length to the lineup. Anyway, that's not what this is about. But also in regard to the platooning situation, I think as a collective, and I'm not saying that the wisdom of the crowd is always correct, but a lot of people have been saying, hey, sometimes you got to just like set it and forget it and let these guys play.
I don't know if that's his call.
that's the thing that's
Once again, I acknowledge that there are decisions being made here, but what I'm saying is that he's the face of the day in and day out lineup and how these players play. So what I'm saying is that it's mixed for me. And I don't know all the reasons. It doesn't matter if I know all the reasons. I'm just observing with the information that I have. And I would say as a rookie skipper for his first time, it's been a bit mixed. But as a human being, I actually like him. I think he's a good guy. I look at the way that the players interact with him, the kind of vibe and communication, the subtleties, the soft skills that he has when he's like kind of one-on-one. You can't really hear what they're saying, but you can tell the players are engaged. So I'd say it's been mixed for me.
I think that's
So I will agree that I think the players like him and play for him, and there's been less quit in this team than there was a year ago. It's a flawed team, that's why they are where they are, but they fight. There have been a couple of occasions for me, and again, I come from an era, I grew up on baseball with Earl Weaver and Billy Martin and then Lou Piniella and managers that went out there and fought for their guys, and some of that has been muted, especially by replay. But there have been a couple of occasions this year where I would have liked to have seen Craig Albernaz go at these umpires to the point that he gets run to show at least the fan. And again, it probably doesn't matter at the end of the day because I think they do genuinely play hard for him. But I think it would have showed well, especially that game in Toronto where the guy is eight miles out of the baseline and they don't call it. And like that's a game where I don't leave the field till I get run.
I think something that we're all unify with is the mishaps have been optics. And I think of the Gunnar Henderson situation. Like, they hit him the right way. They did it the right way. Like, don't say, why are you saying that?
Yeah.
Like, well, that's ridiculous. Like, I think a lot of the issues that we have with Albie are these optics things that happen in these press conferences, or in that case, Ken, which I'm with you 100%, there were multiple times this year, you got to stand up for your team.
Yeah, I think the other one that I remember, and once again, we debated this, was the Pete home run. Like, a lot of people felt like he should have been. Look, the video's the video, right? Like, I mean, I don't know if it was going to make a difference, but the baseball gods did grace them later. It all worked out.
So for me, that's one of those, and I know there have been fans that said he should have gotten run.
Yeah.
It's not the umpires on the field making that call
Yeah,
at
it's
that
New York.
point.
I
It's
totally
New
agree with
York,
you.
so
It's
it's
an
kind
optics
of
thing,
muted.
though.
But I get it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have been mad at him if he did it. But like the umpire on the field in Toronto did not call.
That was he needed to get thrown.
Yeah,
He
like
needed to get
that's
thrown.
one. But and we will get back to this. But coming up next, football's here, ladies and gentlemen. The Ravens play their last preseason game Friday. The NFL opener is coming up in 2 weeks from today. But the college football season starts this weekend. Week 0 in the college football world. Where are we putting our money? We'll ask Tim Murray from VEASA next here on The Fan.
Baseball coverage on 105.7 The Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi. One price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Jerry's Home Services is the choice of Maryland homeowners for all their interior and exterior renovation needs. With an impeccable industry reputation, just ask Jerry's for a fast, free estimate by calling 410-766-6800 or visit jerry'shomeservices.com.
In a world where summer hunger can strike at any moment, only one chicken can fight it.
Wow. I'm hungry. I want a chicken soup. I want chicken and fries. Wow, real fast.
Chicken Palooza is back at Royal Farms. Get any 2-piece meal, Rofo chicken sandwich, or a world-famous chicken summer wrap with an essential water for $6. Now playing at Royal Farms.
There's a reason potato chips don't come in a clear bag. It's only 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's like your 401k. You get 2/3, Uncle Sam gets the rest. Mike Kinnett, Ryan Herbert, and the team at ProStatus Financial Advisors Group can help. Their tax mapping process can help forecast what your taxes will be in the future to potentially decrease your tax bill. Call for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 866-597-1040, or online at prostatusfinancial.com.
Advisory services offered through ProStatus Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance licensed in Maryland.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
MCCM, Fire Protection and Equipment, seeks a data scientist. Duties include analyze operational, service, and compliance-related data for fire protection services, develop data sets, metrics, and predictive models to evaluate service efficiency, inspection schedules, and resource utilization, prepare reports, dashboards, and data visualizations, apply statistical and quantitative methods to support operational planning, efficiency improvement, and data-driven business decisions. Applicants must have a master's in data science, health data science, statistics, or related. Send resume with cover letter to MCCM Fire Protection and Equipment, 8700 Windsor Mill Road, Baltimore, Maryland, 21244. Attention Ms. Choi for interview. That's MCCM Fire Protection and Equipment, 8700 Windsor Mill Road, Baltimore, Maryland, 21244. Attention Ms. Choi for interview.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 McGuire's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
It's time to get everything you need for the job from one partner. No more juggling vendors. We've got your entire job supply covered. Supply the entire job with job lot quantities of everything you need, from flooring to roofing, with access to thousands of products not available in stores. More products mean more colors, sizes, and finishes, so you can get exactly what you need to get the job done. Learn more at the Pro Desk, the Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
It's the summer send-off sales event at Jones Bel Air Hyundai. Save with 0%, 60-month financing on 2026 Santa Fe's and Tucson gas and hybrid. Make no payments until November 2026. Visit BelAirHyundai.com today.
You'll never know what you missed if you're not listening. Good thing there's the free Odyssey app. More sports, more exclusives, and more of what you love. Download it today and search 1057 The Fan. From the OutGuide.com sports desk, here's Nolan McGraw.
Everyone is excited to see what the next version of a Lamar Jackson-led offense looks like after multiple MVP campaigns. In a lot of ways, it feels like he's tapped into all of his capabilities, but new OC Declan Doyle has a vision that he thinks can take Jackson's performance to a new level. What does that look like? Well, there's been plenty of emphasis on timing so far this summer, something Doyle explained more in depth yesterday.
He's one of the best second-play quarterbacks in all of football. You don't want to take that away from him at all. We give him these clean reads, these things that he knows what's being expected of him with his footwork, with his eyes. You get through 1, 2, 3, you might get to 4 and 5, but really as that play breaks down, that's when you can go create.
And last night in St. Louis, the Orioles offense stole the show with 13 runs, but Chris Bassett also turned in maybe his best outing of the season by tossing 6 2/3 with just 1 run allowed. His ERA now sits below 5 for the first time all year. From the Bob Bell Ford of Bel Air Weather Center, partly cloudy skies with temps in the mid-80s. I'm Nolan McGraw, Ravens, Terps, and your home for the most Orioles coverage, 105.7 The Fan.
Jeff Barbalace, Ken Weinman, and Femi Ayanbadejo. 3 deep on 105.7 The Fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we made it. Week 0 of the college football season this weekend. Let's head out to the Window Nation Fan Guest Hotline. Tim Murray from Beeson tells us where to put our money. I think you're doing the Stanford-Hawaii game. Am I wrong on that, Tim? Trying to give you a plug and just make sure I got that right.
Well, we are in Hawaii right now. The game is going to be in Stanford.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, we were. Yeah, so we were. So we had a sponsor who brought us out here last year. We were good luck, so they wanted us to come back out, and we're like, "There's no game, but we'll go to Hawaii." So we're actually doing
worst places.
We're doing a college football preview show tonight at 7 Eastern. You can watch it on YouTube TV. You can listen to it on Sirius XM 158. But yeah, we are here in Hawaii. I was just at practice for a little bit for Hawaii before they depart for the mainland on Thursday morning for that Week 0 game.
Okay, before we get to the games, because you are our college football guy, I have to get your thoughts on the landscape of college football in light of the fact that LSU, they're signing pros in every sport, but now the leagues have come out and said that you can't sign these guys. They're not eligible, so I guess this is going to go to court once again, but where are you on all this?
Look, I think most of us are probably in the same boat, and a lot of the coaches are, and fans are. I mean, look, if you go pro, in my opinion, it's over. And that's not a negative. You know, you go pro. This isn't the goal of playing college athletics to go pro. So, yeah, there are lesser leagues maybe in Europe, and some of those guys can come over and play collegiately, but if you make a determination to go pro, and I get it, like the ruling for 5 for 5 didn't come out until some of these guys had to make the determination whether or not they're going to go pro or not, and they would have stayed. But I mean, life's not fair all the time. Let's be honest here, guys. Like, sometimes rulings come out after we did something, and you just have to live with it. And it's not like, I forget who made this post, but it was a fair assessment. It's like, the guys that left and went pro and now are trying to come back, they still got to play in honestly the best time ever for a student athlete when you got paid, you're allowed to transfer from whenever you want. So, look, I still love college sports. I still love college football. It's my favorite sport to cover and talk about. College basketball as well. But let's be honest. It's a murky time. R.J. Luis, going pro and playing was a part of a trade for the NBA, and now he's coming back to college. So it's not a good situation. I know there's going to be lawyers involved in all of that, but I do, at the end of the day, guys, like the 5-for-5 rule. I've got a niece who plays women's lacrosse. I'm excited for her to maybe get an opportunity to play 5 years of a college sport, and maybe she doesn't play a ton, or maybe she gets injured, whatever it may be, and you get 5 years for it. And so I think all in all, it's a good rule, but look, it's not a great time, but I also don't think I don't think the atom bomb is coming for college sports. I still think college sports are going to be around for a while. It's just we're trying to figure it out.
Well, Tim, we actually have games to preview this weekend, so that's pretty awesome. Let's get to the first one. TCU taking on the Fighting Bill Belichick's. TCU 8.5-point favorites. What's your lean in that game?
I'll tell you what, Tim. This darn point spread is going to make me do something I don't want to do, and that's bet on North Carolina. This number keeps creeping up and up, and you guys know me. We've been doing this hit for a number of years now. I'm a contrarian at heart. There's no way I'm laying 8.5 with TCU. Everybody and the mother seems to be on TCU, and look, for good reason. I mean, North Carolina, it's been a nightmare of an offseason. It's been a nightmare of a tenure, let's be honest, for Bill Belichick. Last year, these two teams played, and UNC didn't look like they belonged in the same field as TCU. Let's talk about TCU here for a moment. They had a bizarre circumstance happen inside their locker room where they bring in the CUSA Defensive Player of the Year to play safety, and he's not going to be playing safety for TCU because he decided to beat up his teammate, so he got kicked off the team. That said, teammate was going to be a starting wide receiver. He is not going to be available for week 0, excuse me. And then you've got an FCS transfer at quarterback, Jaden Craig. Now, there's a lot of excitement about Jaden Craig, who comes in from Harvard. He was, I believe, the Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year, but it's still an FCS player playing in the FBS in the Power 4. So, you guys remember Billy Edwards Jr. He's the starting quarterback down there in North Carolina. Bobby Petrino's the offensive coordinator, so maybe his style fits Bobby Petrino. But, man, I tell you what, if this gets to 10, guys, I'm just going to hold my nose and take North Carolina. I can't. I mean, it might be a low-scoring game. If you guys recall, last year in Ireland, I think the weather is going to be a factor again. Last year was super sloppy between Iowa State and Kansas State. So I'm going to ask the people in the gambling world, don't let this get to 10, so I don't have to bet North Carolina. But that's where I would bet this game if it gets to 10.
Tim, I'm fascinated with Arch Manning. He throws a nice deep ball. He's really athletic, a lot more athletic than his uncle, I guess, right? I don't know. He's catching strays from me.
He can actually run. Eli and Peyton can't.
I apologize for that. His uncles, I should say, right? I'm fascinated by him. I can't think in recent history, and you probably know better than I do, of an incoming freshman. Obviously, it's been a while since he's been a true incoming freshman, but the spotlight that was cast on him from the beginning, the expectations were already off the chart. There was no way he was going to meet those expectations, but he's shown signs of life. He showed it really toward the end of the year for me last year. Give me your analysis on him. Is he a Heisman candidate? Of course, he's a Heisman candidate, probably, but is that realistic? And then his draft status. Where do you think he ends up, and what's his ceiling?
Yeah, I mean, the people in Cleveland, Ohio are going to be watching a lot of college football this year, don't you think? There's Arch Manning, there's C.J. Carr, there's Dante Moore, Julian Said at Ohio State, Gunnar Stockton at Georgia. But going back to your question about Arch, look, they're putting the weapons around him. I mean, the wide receivers that they have, Cam Coleman they grabbed from the transfer portal. He is phenomenal. He's making, these one-handed catches down in camp. The question from the naysayers is, well, who's throwing him the ball? Is that Arch Manning? Why is the ball so high? Look, I think I've gotten to the point where I'm, buying in on Arch just because the hype was so high and people wanted to sell that stock so much. But, the reality is, guys, I think for the number one overall pick market, which you can bet at some sports books, Arch is the favorite. I would probably, based off of the odds, take a little nibble on C.J. Carr at Notre Dame, and that's not me being a homer. It's a lot of people out there that evaluate the quarterback position like what they see from C.J. Carr, but we have a full season to play out. None of us this time of year, we're talking about Fernando Mendoza winning the Heisman, being the number one pick, but the toys are there for Arch Manning. And it's not just, Cam Coleman from Auburn. It's, Ryan Wingo. It's Emmett Mosley at wide receiver. It's, Hollywood Smothers and Malik Brown in that backfield. Like, the offense led by Sark, who is one of the better play callers out there, should be dynamic. And look, week 2, we're going to find out. Home game, Ohio State. The spotlight obviously will be on him. That's going to be the primetime game, down there on ABC. So I am excited about Arch Manning. I think from a college football, not pro standpoint, from a college football standpoint, I think Trinidad Chambliss of Ole Miss is the number one returning quarterback, just from his dual threat ability and what we saw from him in the playoffs. That being said, Texas, in my eyes, guys, is one of the 7 teams that can win the national championship. I think this year, people you talk to, whether it be sharp bettors or odds makers, you can kind of throw the 7 in a bucket, and that would be, in no particular order, Texas, Oregon, Notre Dame, Indiana, Miami, Ohio State, and Georgia. So those are the 7 that I think can really win a national title this year, and Arch Manning's got all the opportunities and all the weapons to go out and win Texas a national title for the first time in 2 decades.
Tim Murray lets people know what's going on in Beeson.
Yeah, like I said, tonight, 7 p.m., check us out from the Sheraton Waikiki overlooking just an incredible view. You can check it out on my Twitter page, @OneTimMurray. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to do a Thursday podcast also from Hawaii, but that's going to be all week 0, getting you ready for all 8 of those games. And then Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, you can catch it on Masson. The Tailgate Show is back for another football season, so fired up. So, yeah, football season is here. Can't wait. I know it's a nice little appetizer. I don't know if this is is it bread? Is it buffalo wings? Is it mozzarella sticks? I don't know what Saturday's going to be, but it's a nice little appetizer to whet our beak before the season starts.
Tim Murray, it sounds like you have a brutal assignment. Try to enjoy it, and then get back to the mainland, and we get the real main course next week.
Yeah, sometimes these bosses, man, they make you do the worst assignments, and you just gotta listen. All right, thanks, guys.
Hold your nose. Thanks, buddy. Hey, coming up next, Ravens and Commanders joint practice. We were all there. What were our observations? We'll tell you next here on The Fan.
The station with the best Ravens coverage. Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan. This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Presented by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. The Chicago Cubs set a franchise record, scoring 30 unanswered runs over 3 games. Well, with all those runs, it didn't help. The Diamondbacks scored 3 runs in the 8th to rally to win 5-4 last night. I'm Chris Black.
105.7 The Fan studios are driven by Anderson Automotive, Buick, GMC, and Honda. It's smiles for miles at AndersonAutomotive.com.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world has noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
On the fence about whether or not you need a fence, or maybe a new fence? Well, if you thought about it, chances are you do need one for the privacy and flexibility and to increase the value of your home. And speaking of value, right now, Long Fence is offering 25% off. Terms and conditions apply. Go to longfence.com for a free estimate today. There's a long-time name for quality. Long Fence. Woohoo!
Save thousands below MSRP at Anderson Buick GMC. Shop Maryland's largest selection and deepest discounts at 2 convenient Anderson locations, Hunt Valley and Abingdon. Take up to $5,000 off GMC Acadias or get 0% APR for 60 months on Buick Envisions. And every month is Truck Month at Anderson. Take up to $11,500 off Sierra pickups. Now that's smiles for miles. Check out AndersonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade financing on select models with approved credit through GM Financial.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Today, cloudy high of 84. Tonight, cloudy low around 73. Tomorrow, high near 85.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bull.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bull.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each. $30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Tim Barbalace, Ken Wyman, and Femi Ayanbadejo. 3 deep on 105.7 The Fan.
I guess the unofficial end of training camp was today. You had fans out there. You had a full practice that we could, as the media, watch. Ravens and Commanders, they play a preseason football game on Friday, so we'll walk through tomorrow, and then they go into regular season mode. Regular season starts officially 2 weeks from today. Ravens play 2 weeks from Sunday. But this was a day, I think the offense, Femi, looked better than what we heard and saw in Minnesota, though I wouldn't say it was cooking on all cylinders. And you got a chance to look at the defense. The defense seemed to be pretty dominant. I saw some beat guys from the Commanders saying this was as bad as this offense has looked in a long time.
I think I saw from one, the offensive line was the worst. Like they couldn't operate. It was so bad.
Let me give you guys I went over there. Cordell and I and Beltway Ben are over there, and I was blown away. I mean, I think the first play team came on Rucker, comes free, gets a sack. Tavius had a sack. Holding penalty on Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson had a sack in team at the end of the game. Kyle Hamilton had an interception in the red zone. Marlon Humphrey broke up a pass in the end zone. They couldn't really run the ball. And then to top it off, Daniels ended up running with the second team because he couldn't catch a vibe with the first team, so he ended up going with the second team. It didn't fare much better for him. So the defense was on point. And then we got a chance to watch one-on-ones early in regard to, and I was focused on the tight ends and the running backs. I thought Ali did a really good job in one-on-ones. Josh Cuevas had a really solid day today. Mark Andrews caught a touchdown in the red zone. Derrick Henry could do whatever he wanted today in regard to the run game.
I'm glad you said that because, look, the passing game was so uneven.
Yeah.
But if that was a game, I'm not exaggerating.
It would have been exactly what you said.
They could have ran for 200 yards. The holes were massive. Like, every single run, it was like 10 yards a clip for him.
There were a few times where they stuffed him, but there were way more runs where he wasn't touched until the second level. I want to give Elijah Surratt some love today. He's not a one-on-one guy. So a lot of people are talking about one-on-ones, the receivers couldn't get open, but you know what he knows how to do? He understands timing in his route and how to use his body. He almost dekes the DB, like he's almost letting him cover him, and then he knows there's about a half a second window where he needs to uncover, and he knows exactly when to get himself free. Kadri Ismail and I were talking about this on a deep level today, the intricacies of making yourself available exactly when you need to be open. That's what Elijah does, and he did that really well today. Guillory, in my opinion, had a great game when we didn't give him any love. He had another solid day of practice today. Obviously, he's going to be vying for a practice squad spot. Josh Cuevas, to me, was running some routes that were receiver-like. There's a route called the pivot route, and it really involves dropping your hips and uncovering. He did a pretty good job of that as well today in one-on-ones. He looked pretty good in 7-on-7 as well. I just thought overall, now there's going to be some things we want back. Lamar threw a pick, I think, in team, but it was fourth down. I would have loved if he would have just thrown it up to Jacoby. I think it was LeJontay Wester that he threw it to. LeJontay looks like he didn't know the ball was thrown to him. He recognized it late. You like to help your quarterback out on that play and either bat it down and I think this is my guess, and I don't know if this is what Lamar was thinking, but he throws a ball to give up in the air. I think it was a corner route, and you almost think like either it's going to go out of bounds, the receiver's going to bat it down, or, it's just going to be an incomplete pass. Unfortunately, Lamar left it a little bit too much into the field of play. The receiver didn't recognize it and ends up getting intercepted. It was 4th and goal or 4th and whatever it had.
They were like a 2-minute drill.
Exactly, 2-minute drill. Yeah. So the game is going to end there. But overall, guys, I like what I saw from Ethan Burke on special teams. He drilled somebody on their kickoff coverage stuff. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good practice. Now, I wasn't in Minnesota. None of us were. But based on kind of the feedback that we heard, I think it was pretty dominant by the Ravens today.
Yeah, you kind of just wonder how good the Commanders are going to be.
Well, can I give you one more thing? I'm sorry, one more thing. You guys know I was paying attention to the offensive line. I'll let you guys elaborate on what Coach Lever had to say. I missed what he was saying and kind of giving them a bit of a tongue lashing because of one-on-ones. But Javon Gwynn was a dog today. I'll tell you that right now. Javon Gwynn was a dog. I watched him in some of the run stuff. I watched him in pass pro. He gave Lamar a nice cushion. Like, things in front of Lamar were pretty clean. They got through on occasion here and there, but I thought Javon played pretty well. I just wanted to say that. I didn't get a chance to watch Ethan Posick. It wasn't because he didn't play well. I just didn't get a chance to watch him with twos. I was kind of all over the place, and obviously I was focused on Gwynn, so just wanted to give that update about Gwynn.
Yeah, the Ledford exchange that you're mentioning, it was relatively early on in practice, in between one-on-ones. There were probably a little bit of 11-on-11 at that point. A lot of profanity was used, so I can't say exactly what he said, but the message that he gave was basically finish and challenging the guys to finish the play. But I thought a couple guys that you didn't mention, Femi, I thought Bateman was very active today. I thought Bateman was very, very good today. Yeah. Running crisp routes. He was winning a lot on one-on-ones. He was winning on 11-on-11s. Had a couple of nice sideline grabs for him. One of the plays at the end, Lamar play action, hit Tez on a strike over the middle. It was a great hands catch by Tez Walker. But no, I think we were just watching offense, Ken and I, on that side. The run game was what stuck out to me. And that's something that we were saying first couple weeks of preseason, leaving some to be desired. They could have ran the ball at will if that was a game today. The pass game was a little uneven, but the run game was on point.
Bateman stood out for me today. I thought he had a great day. I thought Walker was kind of up and down. He had the great catch and touchdown, but he had a couple drops. I liked what I saw from Cuevas early.
Yeah. And Jacoby had 2 catches.
Yeah, Jacoby had 1, and I guess this is every practice. Like, separation ain't his bag, but if the ball gets close to him, he's catching it. Like,
he put it up in the air.
Yeah, it's like he's got Velcro on his hands, and he had one across the middle that he made look easy. That was an incredibly difficult catch. So, like, every time you see him, that it seems like he's going to make a play like that because his hands are so good.
Yeah, I think it was in the red zone. He went over a safety and a corner and just put it up at 12 feet. Like, no one else is going to get that. And it's a safe throw. And he did that again today. I think it was Lamar that threw that to him. And it could have been Snoop. I think it was Lamar. But, overall, I was just impressed with the physicality that they played with. Trey Hendrickson's a dog, man. He's letting the refs know, like, He actually got a couple holding calls, too, today as well. I'm not sure if I already said that, but I was just impressed. I think that the Nnamdi of it all, and I know that there's been a lot of discussion online and through streaming podcasts and stuff, everyone is having a debate on whether he goes on IR or they start him. He was in full pads today, just getting his work in with the team stuff. I mean, not team is in, like, the defensive line, just doing drills and stuff. Obviously, he hasn't been exposed to any contact yet. He won't be until he does shorts and helmets, but I think they're going to be, I like what I see from a depth perspective across the board. I'm not worried about Nnamdi not being available for the first couple weeks.
Was Diggs participating in teams?
I saw him later.
I didn't know. He was a little.
He went in early, but I did see him later.
I didn't notice him. You know what I mean? Like, nobody, I didn't notice anybody from
No, it seemed like
Washington.
domination according to Twitter and people.
Every time I looked over when I was on offense, I could just hear the defense. Whoa, you know what I mean? Like, I could just hear them kind of jumping up and down. One more thing. Jaden Daniels had a 2-minute drill at the end, and yes, it was a sack for sure. Kyle Hamilton,
the touchdown,
and Keon Martin got
it's a beautiful throw, but
exactly, beautiful throw. He was drifting back, floated it up. But the truth of the matter is that they pulled up quick, and I know that's their one celebratory thing that the offense had. But if you go look at it, that ball was probably a second and a half.
Hamilton got in untouched.
Yeah, him and Keon Martin met at the quarterback. Yeah, so
we'll get back to baseball next. Orioles win 13-1. What does John Mioli think about what we saw last night and moving forward? You got the sprint to the final 30 games. Can the Orioles make a run? John joins us next here on The Fan.
This football season, 105.7 The Fan brings you unparalleled analysis of the purple and black. Beginning September 9th, it's Baltimore Football Weekly with Ken McCusick and Femi Ayambadejia. From the film room to the locker room, Ken breaks down the tape and Femi gives you the player perspective. Baltimore Football Weekly, Wednesday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Elephant in the Room in Millersville on 105.7 The Fan.
In the market for a new mattress but overwhelmed by all the options? At Mattress Firm, we make it easy. Just drop in, answer a few questions, and our sleep experts will guide you to your perfect mattress. And with choices for every budget, it's no wonder more shoppers choose Mattress Firm than any other mattress specialty retailer. And now, save up to $1,400 on Tempur-Pedic Split King sleep systems. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Doug. Limo and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limo and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limo. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Now, the Bay Bridge spokesbirds.
Otis, that lady just called us Bay Bridge spokesbirds, but we're also the Bay Bridge experts.
Experts? We're the spokesbirds, Spike.
We're also the experts, the red experts. It's simple. Don't drive in a lane with a red X. Only drive in lanes with a green arrow.
Can't argue with that.
Hatch your plan for smooth travel when crossing the bay at baybridge.com. Get traffic info and live cameras all in one spot.
Hey, we're all headed out to happy hour. You in?
Definitely, but I need to schedule a ride.
Before you drink, designate a sober driver or plan for a rideshare and make sure everyone gets home safely. You can save your life, those in your car, and others on the road. Be the Make a Plan driver. Be the driver who saves lives. Go to zerodeathsmd.gov. This message is brought to you by the Maryland Department of Transportation.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
It's 5 o'clock. Your employees are headed home, but you're still updating spreadsheets, switching between software, and wondering where the day went. There's a better way. Odoo brings accounting, sales, inventory, CRM, and more together in one fully integrated platform. So you spend less time managing software and more time running your business, because your workday should end eventually. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This summer, treat yourself and taste the Baltimore tradition that is the legendary Costas Inn. You can visit their newest location at the Timonium Fairgrounds and enjoy all of your favorites from the original Costas Inn. And when you swing by there, make sure you tell them that Jeremy Kahn sent you.
Usher and Chris Brown bring their R&B tour to M&T Bank Stadium on October 17th, a Live Nation show. Tickets are on sale now. Keep listening to 105.7 The Fan for your chance to win tickets, courtesy of Live Nation.
This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. From the OutGuide.com sports desk, here's Tim Barbalese.
Everyone is excited to see what the next version of a Lamar Jackson-led offense looks like after multiple MVP campaigns. In a lot of ways, it feels like he's tapped into all of his capabilities, but new OC Declan Doyle has a vision that he thinks can take Jackson's performance to a new level. What does that look like? Well, there's been plenty of emphasis on timing so far this summer, something Doyle explained more in depth yesterday.
He's one of the best second-play quarterbacks in all of football. You don't want to take that away from him at all. We give him these clean reads, these things that he knows what's being expected of him with his footwork, with his eyes. You get through 1, 2, 3, you might get to 4 and 5, but really as that play breaks down, that's when you can go create.
And last night in St. Louis, the Orioles offense stole the show with 13 runs, but Chris Bassett also turned in maybe his best outing of the season by tossing 6 2/3 with just 1 run allowed. His ERA now sits below 5 for the first time all year. From the Bob Bell Ford of Bel Air Weather Center, partly cloudy skies with temps in the mid-80s. I'm Nolan McGraw, Ravens, Terps, and your home for the most Orioles coverage, 105.7 The Fan.
Tim Barbalese, Ken Weinman, and Femi Ayanbadejo. 3 deep on 105.7 The Fan.
Win 13-1 last night. Back in action against the Cardinals tonight. Let's talk some Orioles baseballs. We head to the Winter Nation Fan Guest Hotline. John Mioli covers the O's for the Baltimore Banner. And John, thank you as always for your time. We appreciate it. Interesting game last night, John, as the offense really showed up. I joked that Shane Boz must have loved seeing a team score runs like that, especially in the 5th inning. But The Pete Alonso of it all, who has been, Bowen was giving the stats earlier, he's been absolutely on fire since the trade deadline. He looks like the kind of guy that can carry an offense, can he? You there, John?
Yes, sorry. I heard you welcome me, and then I lost you. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. Just the Pete Alonso of it all, who's been on fire since the deadline.
It's been astonishing. I think the way that he has kind of stepped up and understood what this team needed. They've always needed him to, hit home runs and come up in big spots and push runs across the plate. That's been a given. But the fact that he's been able to do it at this level is really, it's really impressive. And then, this is a town where that's not really, there was a good part of the Chris Davis experience, but I think there was a lot of fear that you aren't going to get what you're paying for with a big slugger in his 30s playing first base. And this guy is doing everything and then some. He's starting to have a little more of a hands-on approach to Gunnar Henderson, trying to help the rest of the team. He's been setting a standard on and off the field for the whole season, but it is incredibly reliable power production, and that is not something that comes around often or comes cheaply, and I think the Orioles are getting every bit of what they paid for at this point.
John, we've been talking for a while now, especially since the deadline. It's kind of the land of opportunity for this outfield. We have no idea how many of these guys are going to be starters, if any of them, for the 2027 opening day outfield. But Dylan Beavers is trying to make a case, and he's really turned around his season over the past couple weeks. You recently put out a piece for the Baltimore Banner about Dylan Beavers' turnaround. What has led him to this point?
Yeah, so he's somebody, he's been one of my favorite players to write about since he was drafted. He loves to talk hitting, and when he met with the Orioles at the draft combine in 2022, he told him, I got a lot of work to do on my swing. I would love for you guys to help me. He spent 3 years basically in the minors trying to figure that out. He found the solution last year that allowed him to hit fastballs at a very productive level. That got him and made him the MVP of the International League. It got him to the big leagues. He was doing that here, and then after... he hit fastballs okay in the first part of the season. He wasn't great by any stretch as he was kind of platooning and in and out of the lineup. And then he had the oblique injury and came back and just wasn't hitting them at all. And it took a while. He was watching video. He couldn't figure it out himself. He reached out to Matt Holliday, Jackson's dad, and he identified that Dylan Beavers was basically, setting too far back in his stance, and he was moving backwards at the pitch, so there was no chance to hit fastballs. He tried to get a little more neutral, and he hit home runs on fastballs in 3 straight games during the last homestand, and it has always felt like what we were seeing for parts of the season wasn't really what you would expect from Dylan Beavers. Obviously, the player that you see in the minors isn't always going to be what happens in the big leagues. These are the best pitchers in the world. Not everything is scalable, on a linear level, but this is somebody who takes really good at bats and doesn't chase and doesn't and hits pitches he's supposed to hit, and he wasn't doing that. And when, for me, it's always a situation where when something like that seems like it's clicked, and then there's a corresponding explanation that explains why it might have clicked, it makes me a little more, quick to believe that what preceded it was explainable, and what might make it so that it's different and better in the future is a little more believable.
John, one of the things that I've been kind of the drum I've been banging since the trade deadline was the inability to play small ball, right? And what I loved about that 5th inning yesterday was single by Mayo. CES hits a single, RBI single. Beavers, bases loaded walk. Tavares, 2-run single. Holiday, RBI single. Alonso, 2-run double. This is one of the things that I think leads to... It teases you a bit because you wonder, is this type of play sustainable, the kind of small ball of it all? What are your thoughts around that?
It's really a double-edged sword for me. I feel like the moments when I say you, everyone who watches them gets really frustrated with this team are the games where it's not clicking, and you can tell that, whether it's, Gunnar Henderson and Pete Alonso in the heart of the lineup or whoever's hitting 9th or 8th down at the bottom are thinking like, man, I need a swing here. I need a big swing to get this going because we really need to get something going. And that's when they lose their approach. That's when, as they're seeking those big outcomes, they don't even get fine outcomes. And in moments like that, these games when the offense just all of a sudden looks like they're world beaters like they are, it's because they don't need those. Yes, they got the big swings early to take them to the big lead. Pete Alonso and CES hit home runs like 900 feet combined. It was exactly what you want those guys to do. But then I think as the pressure was lowered on everyone else, you saw guys taking really good at bats. You saw guys laying off close pitches with 2 strikes, and the outcomes kind of matched what you were seeing in terms of the at-bat quality. And it's hard to say that it is or isn't going to be sustainable, but it's very fascinating in the moments when that does happen. It happens for everybody. It's not just 1 or 2 guys getting on and then getting stranded, although that happens a lot. That's when the bad moments for this team happen. When they are able to do those things that they did last night and have done, and I think did pretty well on the last road trip, it's because there's an all-field approach and there's a willingness to take what you're getting, and the power will come. And we're 5 months into the season, and it's an incredibly frustrating team to talk about because they're capable of this, and they're also capable of all the things that they do that made it so they're 4 games under 500 and kind of trying to claw their way back into this. It's hard. I don't know the answer to whether it's sustainable or not, but I think the games when it's happening because everyone is doing it, and I think the capability of it is probably the most reassuring part of that. We know they can do it.
We're talking with John Mioli. It's 3 Deep here on the Fan. Blaze Alexander should be back soon. We're going to be talking about that next segment here on the show. What's it look like when he returns? How do you make it work with him, Mayo, and CES? How would you make it work?
How would I make it work? I think that every day you can, given how the Orioles have been trying to keep Pete Alonso off his feet, whether it's for full DH games, whether it's taking him out. I think Kobe Mayo might see more time at first base, and Blaze Alexander will see more time at third. You can obviously move him around. I'm certainly not opposed to, and this is a wild sentence to have thought about saying in February when they made this trade, I'm not opposed to giving Gunnar Henderson a day against lefties every once in a while and having Blaze Alexander play short on those if the Orioles are trying to maximize, their most optimal lineup in that sense. I think there's going to be ways to get Blaze Alexander in. I'm not necessarily in favor of him taking much second base time from Jackson Holliday. I think you need to let him continue to do what he's doing. But I think putting Kobe Mayo at first a little more often, you don't have Adley Rutschman or Samuel Basayo always occupying the DH spot. You can have Basayo catch more, a little more Mayo at first base, Alonso at DH. It's going to be interesting to see how they do that. I mean, but the bottom line is that Blaze Alexander is even 80% of the hitter that he was before he got hurt. He needs to be in there every day, and they need to figure out how to do that.
John Mioli covers the O's for the Baltimore Banner. John, thank you as always for your time, man. We appreciate it.
All right, great chat, and we'll do it again soon. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. By the way, Baltimore Baseball Night coming up at 6. That is the Bone and Ryan Ripken getting you ready for Orioles and Cardinals Game 2 of this 3-game series. And let's get into the Blaze Alexander of it all. Made a wild play at third base yesterday in a rehab assignment. How much of a boost, though, can he provide this offense upon returning? We'll tell you next here on The Fan.
If you're thinking about it,
every day,
we're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
This is Andy Palladino of the Palladino Financial Group. Want to know what you can do to make sure you have enough money in retirement? Tune into my radio show, Your Financial Hour, every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m., and I'll explain steps you can take to help safeguard your income. It's every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m.
Hop in a John Deere Gator XUV for a day's work. Let's see what's on the to-do list. There goes the tree. And the fence. Not a problem. Because you've got a cargo box filled with solutions. Up to 4,000 pounds of towing capacity. And you're ready to roll. Here we go again. The Gator XUV. Built for every kind of workday. Learn more at johndeere.com/Gator XUV. Nothing runs like a deer.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just one dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Alex B and Zach came to the rescue when we lost our heat. The commercial I hear every day on my way to work is true. Amazing.
Greg did a great job.
Tony saved us tens of thousands of dollars because he